They feel like they are being humane. We're taking care of the earth for our kids, which is good. That's good. Absolutely. There are no bigger conservationists that I know than hunters and fishermen and people that are very conservative people.
Who do you even know? I just spent 15 minutes watching this man debunk the climate crisis. Then he finished with how hunters are the best conservationists. He clearly don't know who I is. In the world of conservation, compared to my role models, I ain't shit. Like Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter, is out there shooting them. Like Jane Goodall, David Attenborough, and Forrest Galante ain't far exceeding these hunters. That's right, he don't know shit. Like Jeff Corwin, Jack Cousteau, Jack Hanna, or Jack's World of Wildlife ain't bringing conservation to the forefront for everybody to understand it. Hunters are the best conservationists. Oddly, he overlooked the oxymoronic part of this last sentence. Don't pick sides, just hear what I'm saying. Why would hunters even want to be considered the best conservationists? Is it because they question their own passion? I mean, I understand hunting. It's probably the only reason our species survived. It's clearly part of our evolution. There's a conservationist, Charles Darwin. If we shoot a bird, we're eaten. But I'm sure John James Audubon wants to know why we gotta shoot every passenger pigeon. Hunters could have caused their extinction. This is a game of chess, and to win this, you must understand your opponent's reasoning. They will refer to Theodore Roosevelt and begin by explaining part of his story, but I'm gonna tell you the way it is. He was a hunter who really wanted to hunt down a bison. He searched forever and found out how hard it really was to find one. Ironically, such a different story from the Lewis and Clark expeditions, yet just 100 years difference. In the early 1800s, there were so many bison one could shoot in the air and certainly not miss. Roosevelt felt bad for what he did. He shot what he thought was potentially the last bison. And after this action, he spent his remaining time in office creating many of the great national parks, almost like somebody with a change of heart. Somebody fighting his own conscience. Unfortunately, this doesn't make all hunters great conservationists. I did my research. I watched an hour-long video called Stars in the Sky, and yes, I played chess, so check this. Since you already threw out a straw man argument, I will present my counter-argument. The hunters find game because of conservationists. But the truth is, the hunters find game because the game animals haven't tapped out yet. These creatures want nothing more than to exist. Animals exist on all continents, and now it's just like humans. Between animals and humans, which of these populations is decreasing and which just increases? Justifying killing a declining species is like a poor person irrationally spending. In 1 year, this species will lose to extinction. In 10 years, our melting ice caps will cause catastrophic flooding. You started your video debunking the climate crisis, then you ended with hunters are the best conservationists. Killing is the exact opposite of the definition of a conservationist. I know, this is the point where you try to justify your last sentence. But just realize what protection is, and your assumption is incorrect by definition. You're looking for an easy solution. I got one. Take your guns and use them to protect him. I mean, let's make an extension to our Second Amendment. We got guns. It's for protection from idiots, especially when you live in the city limits. Their skin or trophy is more valuable than life is. Back to the climate crisis. I gave out a date, but it's irrelevant. We give out these dates to put simple minds into perspective. Criticize Al Gore, you realize the advancements since his time? Have you not heard about solar or wind farms? Electric cars? I live in Florida and yeah, we have a warm climate. I planted a tree that wouldn't be considered that cold tolerant. For 3 years that tree thrived. It grew so tall it was way above my head. Last year the coronavirus hit. In turn, air pollution and travel reduced. That cold winter returned that same year. Froze that non-cold tolerant tree. Now it's bare. I ain't claiming to be a climate scientist. I've only done so many experiments. You found some facts and you built an argument around it. Can we really blame him? Eventually we'll see, I think. Well, I don't know what we'll see. I've been saying plant more trees. I've been saying save the bees. I've been saying they're fucking begging, hear their plea. And yet we've lost so many. Too many species have gone extinct. And killer whales? That's a meme. We're the whale killers, actually. We pump up oil and accidentally litter our seas. We don't recycle plastic. That shit's covered everything. Funny thing is, if plastic had value, the collectors got paid just a little for their work. We would create jobs and the byproduct would be a better earth. I mean, the government's monopolized everything. They actually take profits from coyote killing sprees, like the KGB. Ironically, then the coyotes spread across the country. People responded negatively and keep doing the same thing. The government wants to control the masses. They want your mind to go to sleep. You're just one of his little cronies. At Nintendo Wii, we like freedom of speech as long as it's about Abercrombie, Gucci, Louis. Look at these sneaks, they're Nikes. I'm just a peasant and they're the bourgeoisie. Here, citizens, this is our new nominee. I'm the government, fuck the free. Block these apps that give them speech. I'm not asking for anybody to agree. I think in time we shall see. Besides, I'm used to glitches trying to disagree. I guess now you realize I'm not all PG. I ain't been PG since 13. Them glitches said I didn't take the sting. Inside of this capsule I have a small. Why you play pianos and talk about global warming? I mean, what do they think? I'll put it on replay and let's begin. I want you all to see it again. Man, you just copied Peterson. Man, you're fake with those reactions. Man, you're crazy. Fake, you do not get stung unless you have nerves of steel or under some intoxication. And yet these glitches base that off of celebrities' reaction. You should know I ain't with that intoxication. I drank one twisted tea and all of a sudden I'm a dope fiend. What you mean? That sting's supposed to bring me to my knees? What you think? Maybe you should see a shrink or just take a drink. Ooh, ah! Here we go. Oh yeah, I feel. So we've pretty much determined that this beautiful species is completely harmless, and we just want to let it go on its way. Bumblebee. It is in the rubberfly family. Y'all know I'm still the same OG. Been hated on by so many. What's next? You gonna say I copied Dr. Dre's beats like the rap game don't apply to stings? Like Dr. Dre came up with the first beat or first CD? Funny, y'all really think Coyote was the first one to take a sting? How do you think they came up with anti-sting cream? How do you think they came up with antihistamine? How do you think they came up with the Schmidt Pain Sting Index? How do you think they created a pain test? How do you think Peterson got famous? I hope you don't think it was because of his toughness. I go up to the wasp nest with no vest, no face mask, no extra protection. Then I go up and take a single specimen. I've taken dozens of stings and I've had 2 anaphylactic reactions. Permanent scars and my dreams are so vivid. And then I gotta hear, shave your arm so you can see the stinger's penetration. We really just like those crazy reactions. You got the wrong guy, I ain't with that fiction. I ain't no new moon, I'll give you the full moon and that moon ain't waxing. These negative comments got me careful when I'm posting. One slip up and I'm roasted by a ghost that ain't even got a video posted. Oh, and I ain't claiming to be a climate scientist, anti-hunter, pro-conservationist. Everywhere. Why wouldn't I err on the side of caution? I just have a really big passion for wildlife, and the truth is, I love humans too, and I think we're the only ones at this point that can reverse some of the effects we've caused. So we're kind of needed, and also want to give a huge shout out to Jack's World of Wildlife, because we're kind of on the same scope. We're kind of doing the same thing. We both love wildlife, including the ones that creep you out and make you scared of wildlife. So make sure y'all go check him out and give him a subscribe. He's a little different than I am, but a good guy altogether, and I totally support what he's doing. He has the ability to go around the world and travel and see different insects and stuff. Something I just don't have that ability to do. And so definitely go over there and check him out, and hopefully y'all enjoy his content as well. Peace.
Share my love for wildlife and biology in general to help bring back a more personal era of conservation and education. Only together can we decide to save the world.